There it is.
Yo, how's it going? Hey.
Hi.
Have you ever noticed we always start with hey? It's like every time the show starts, you just got to the club. Welcome to Mistress of Reads. We highly believe that you should be a mistress of your own freaking book selection and your life selection. And sometimes have a little kinky fun on the side. Just saying. Welcome to the show. We are so happy to see you again. I hope you're as happy to see us. What's that? Fishing? No. Anyway, let's go ahead and tell you about what's going to be in the show. We have a long-form show today. It's going to be shorter than normal because it is the Memorial Day show. So labeled as the title, Memorial Day. But I just want to say, I was going to start the patriotic music, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do this straight.
Please don't.
Word up, troops. Word up. Good job. I remember you. I think my most of my family is military, and some of yours is, correct?
Good portion of mine.
Yeah. So, I do believe that this is an awesome day, and thank you for the barbecue, and I enjoyed it today, and I enjoyed the day off. But more importantly, word up, troops. All right, back to the show. I just want to say, you're in Vegas. I'm in Sacramento. Yeah, I'm in Sacktown, and it's hot as hell. And yeah. P.S. My name is O. That is Vu in Vegas. Vu's in Vegas. I'm in Sacktown, and it is hot as fuck. And
away from the fucking desert.
I ran down the street and dropped off my plums to get my lawn mowed. Dropped off some fresh plums to get my lawn mowed. And I was like, Lord, it's hot. It's so hot. I'm a really dark person, and normally that stuff doesn't faze me. But even I was like, this caught me off guard. This heat caught me off guard. I was not ready for it. But let me start the music for the show. Thank you so much. Now, I just want to say, overall, it's going to be an amazing show.
I agree.
Because I took off my shirt. Hold on, let me get these pants off.
I wish I could get naked, but the patio doors blinds are open to let light into the living room.
And those fuckers would look.
Yeah, they would. So I'm just sitting in the central air.
Yeah, I broke out with the Nelly. What is that, 1990, late 1990s? Nelly?
Yeah.
Nelly's late 1990s, yeah. Broke out with the Nelly cover. Gosh. Nelly was a long-ass time ago, though, wasn't he?
I still like Nelly.
He did that, he's doing that country music, rap country music thing now, right?
No, that was like 16 years ago, Ma.
Didn't he do another album where he did a rap country music album thingy?
I don't remember. I just remember the song with Tim McGraw, and it was actually really good.
Yeah. All right. So, I think we should start the show. This is a weird place to start the show because we've been talking like randomly about random shit like for the last 2 and so minutes. But here's the thing. And I'm going to get super, super fucking random here.
Okay. I don't see how that's different any other day, but okay.
I pulled this YouTube doesn't want diversity video for you. I even did it fancy, yo. I have it done fancy for you guys this week. But I saw this video. It's by Simone. I just called her Frankie. Francina, excuse me, Simone. I just call her Frankie because I like the name Frankie, and she's really frank. And I was like, well, Frankie. And the thing about it is that she makes an interesting argument, although I'll let you guys decide. So this is Frankie Booktube doesn't need diversity. And if you're like me, I only recently figured out the hashtag Booktube because I could not find any book reviews for like. Did the same thing happen to you?
Repeat that question. I'm sorry, I was distracted by a Twinkie.
Was it flying through the air? Matt. Sorry, that's an inside joke, and I'm sorry for putting that in there, but sometimes you meet men who are natural Twinkies, and you just want to see what the feeling looks like. So, you know, the worst part is I'm not sexually attracted to him, but at the same time, I want to look. It's just like,
it's so hilarious. Every time I mention your name, he gets this like thing like he wants to run. It's so funny.
Like a squirrely. He is real fucking squirrely. But that's the mistress calling him a squish.
He was so bad. He's just like, oh no, what'd she say now?
Squirrely. Real squirrely. Okay. But we were talking about Booktube. But I spent a long time looking for reviews and on books and stuff, like regular reviews that regularly review books that I kind of read. And since I have, you know, the average age of YouTube is somewhere like 18 to 26-ish, 25-ish. You know what I mean? It's very young.
Yeah, it's young.
YouTube is young. And the problem is if you don't know exactly the way people are cataloging books or cataloging how they discuss topics, just like on Twitter, you're going to be hard put to find it, even if you put the title of the book you're looking for into YouTube search engines. It's one of those things. So I only recently found Booktube, and you, I think, only recently found Booktube, right?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that you notice on Booktube right off the back is that Booktube has a very limited realm of books they talk about, with also very sameness in character as well. Generally, it's YA, sometimes fantasy, sometimes sort of chick-lit-y, kind of romantic YA, sometimes all rolled into one super whiny book. So I'm not judging the books, but I'm just saying, it's super book. Generally, the main character is a white guy or a white woman. She has some sort of issue. For example, she doesn't feel loved enough, or she's in high school, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's generally always that sort of setup to it, and it's almost always a love triangle.
I really
right?
get bored with books with insecure heroines. It really makes me angry to read. And but that's like a good portion of what I've been finding lately.
Yeah, and it's not just insecure heroine. It's a heroine of a certain type. It's not even like, because I could forgive it if some of the heroines were curvy white women, but I can almost tell you the body type of the person, what the person looks like, and even how the author regularly describes the hair type. And it's like, I get that, it's relevant to them, but at the same time, whatever. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play the video. She says Booktube doesn't want diversity, and she articulates her point a little bit. I'm going to show you a snippet of it. This is Francina or Frankie or Francina Simone, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the button.
Hey guys, it's Francina Simone, and I am here today with a book discussion. And as the title suggests, it's about diversity on Booktube. I know this is starting to get kind of played out, but I honestly don't think Booktube wants and or needs diversity as much as, wait for it, because I know what you're thinking. Bitch, don't tell me what I want, because I know what I want, and it's diversity. But what I'm going to say to you is I don't think that we want diversity as much as we are screaming for quality. And follow me here on this journey, because I'm going to explain why before you get all angry and ratchet up in here talking about, this chick, she don't want no diversity, she talking about this, that, and the other. That is not what I am saying, okay? So, one, in Booktube, let's talk about what we do have so we can understand what it is that we are lacking. So we have a lot of white characters, we got a lot of girl characters, and for once, let me insert here, the woman is the majority. Actually, women are already the majority as far as population goes, but we are usually represented as a minority. But here on Booktube and here in the YA genre, specifically, we are represented as the majority as well. So, woohoo, one for women, right? And also, heterosexuals. I don't know why there was a big pause after that. One is going to pop up. Pooh, heterosexual. How would we know? Unless we saw them doing it. It's so fucking weird. So that's what we have here on Booktube. And then, of course, the biggest population of it is YA. We don't have a lot of adult. We don't have a lot of children's literature, or middle grade, I should say. But we do have a lot of people out there reading it, but just it's not as big and as prominent as, you know, it's not the first thing people think when they think Booktube. They think Booktube and they think the newest YA hit. And it's usually something to do with romance. It's started. I love me a good romance, but y'all are killing me with it. So the reason why I say I don't think we're screaming for diversity as much as we're screaming for quality is because of this. Think about it. When you read a great book, do you complain about what it lacks? If it's great, you're probably not complaining about something it lacks because it doesn't lack anything. That's what made it great, right?
So, I hit pause. Now, I'm not like one of those people putting unflattering pauses on people. I just hit pause, like, freeload it, you know? So, it's an unflattering place to pause, but that's not my fault. It's just the mouth move. So, anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and hit mute at the same time. She makes other points in it, but I think this is the biggest point, and the reason why she started with this point is because her main argument seems to be that it's not a diversity issue, but a quality issue. And I don't know if that is the correct point, and I don't know if that is the point to actually be making here in the first place. Because I could argue her argument, but I won't agree with it. Okay, so let me go ahead and respond first. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. I actually don't think that the issue here has anything to do with quality or quality or not quality. I think the actual issue here is going to be something closer to the reason why we need diverse literature is two different points. One isn't just about race, but about reading in general. If you want to make a lifetime reader, which is what our goal should be, you know, making life readers out of everybody who, you know, within what Booktube is, a glorified book club, is to have as diverse as possible book selection. You don't have to do YA every single book. You can do YA every third book as a booktuber. You could do YA every fifth book as, you know, a booktuber. You can do YA every other book. But you are more likely to make a lifetime reader out of somebody by introducing them to other things and other things that they could read to expand their palette. You know, as a book club, that's what you generally do in a book club, which is, correct? Expand palettes. And the more options you have to read, the less likely you are to get a reading slump and then to never read again. A reading slump, you know, to think that you've already read all the books is, you know, hubris in itself, but you don't ever want that to happen as a reader. You want to be able to shift into another genre easily, another genre or genre, whatever you say, into another genre. So that's one argument to diversity, as in the types of books. Now, here's a second problem on Booktube, which I think she's presented first, is most of the characters in the book are generally white. They're generally heterosexual. And they're generally, you know, sometimes male, sometimes female. Now, the reason why you want diverse characters in there is a multi-tiered approach. And, you know, you want normalization in books. You know, to make sure that people aren't terrified of black people, terrified of gay people, terrified of transgender people, terrified of whoever. You want to put them into books, TV, movies to make us one nation or one world, because the way people stay terrified of somebody is by not knowing about them. It's the quickest way to come up with as many dead bodies as possible, is to not know somebody. Because for some reason we fear what we don't know. And by putting a gay character who is not, a gay character who's there to support the romance YA story and not to have a life of his or her own, it's not good for the character. It's not good to think of any human being to be solely there to, support, in every single book to support, your romance, your teeny bopper romance. So, in number 2, only a couple years ago, for a long time, there was no black people in books, and there was no Asian people. There was not even Native American. The Native American crying dude? That's Italian. That guy's Italian. You know what they used to do? They used to do white. They used to do yellow face and black face and all these things. And as long as that stays, each generation has their thing that they still do that they probably shouldn't do, and that's what you do in books. As an author, as a book club leader, as a booktuber, you should always throw in a diverse book in there, because it's not just about you. It's about the world, as corny as that sounds. Now, this is one of the most cogent arguments I'll ever make in my life. I had a Rain Man moment here. I don't think I will ever get a Rain Man moment again, so never expect this. So what do you have to say?
I agree and disagree. And I actually got so caught up in your part of the argument that I actually forgot most of what I was going to say.
I was trying to let you go first, remember?
Yeah, but I felt that if I didn't let you go first, you were going to burst. So I figured I just let you run. That's all.
All right. I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting to pout.
But I feel that there should be more diversity, but I also do feel that there should be more quality.
Word.
I agree and disagree with her, but at the same time, I kind of wish that she broke her argument down a little bit better, because some of it was overlapping in such a way that it was like, wow.
Well, I think she's like us, except for she edits. So,
we'll sound a lot more articulate if we just edited. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, we are what we are. Love us. But I don't know.
Yeah, we one shot it, y'all. This is us. Love it or leave it.
Yeah. As one person who heard the show I think Crazy Diamond, who watches the show. Thank you, Crazy Diamond. I enjoyed your book, by the way, girl. Congratulations. We are enthusiastic. We're enthusiastic as hell. I think, but she didn't put the hell part. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty much. It's like, yeah, enthusiastically bookish. But go ahead and finish your argument on the argument.
Well, there has been a lot of crap out there that you can tell where they got their inspiration from the good books, and it drives you up the wall. And it's like, I want to see something new and fresh. It's like, yeah, I get it. You're gonna copy Ilona Andrews, which is great because I do love Ilona Andrews. At the same time, I want something fresh and new. And the reason why I liked Ilona Andrews is because there's nothing else out there like it. So give me something that isn't like Ilona Andrews. Give me something that isn't Kim Harrison.
True. I've only recently started running into more genre crossing, more pantheon crossing books. And that's within the last, year. And I read a lot of urban fantasy. I read a lot of romance books. I read a lot of mystery books sometimes. Not a lot, like so. I read a couple, I read fiction and stuff, but especially in urban fantasy, which we don't get a lot of anyways, I feel like people think that everything's been plum. Really, it hasn't. Most of our urban fantasy books have been from this perspective of Greek pantheon or religious iconography from Christianity. There's a whole there's a big ass world, people.
Well, like, last week we were talking about Anne Bishop's Black Jewel series. Like, that was high fantasy with the matriarchal society. I don't see that anywhere else. Give me something, I love that. And I latched onto that author because it was something new and it was something fresh. And, I want to find more new and fresh. Don't throw the same shit at me over and over again thinking that I'm going to like it.
Ain't nobody bad. So fresh and so clean. Okay. So,
just show me something I haven't seen before. Like, that's my whole big thing. As for diversity, I do like that more and more we're getting more and more authors that aren't sticking to, the white, skinny, 20-something female who has no friends until she meets the man of her life, and then suddenly she has friends. You know the ones I'm talking about.
More importantly, I've noticed a lot of reviewers whose palette has been changing, and they said, why isn't there any Black people in this book? And why is there no Asian people? Why is there no Native Americans? Why is there not one? I've noticed reviewers start to say that, and they actually say that's a point down for the book instead of that's just, not in the book. Or they don't even...
That's why I love the Charlene Kenyon books, because her universe is diverse. Dark Hunters come from all walks of life.
Flavorful.
And I love it. I love it. Quite recently, I think it was like 3 or 4 books ago, she brought in the Native American Dark Hunters and was there with a lot of Native American lore, which was awesome. Absolutely awesome. And she's always gonna be one of my favorite authors for that reason. And then you have authors that just love themselves some Black men. I ain't hating on it. Faith Hunter, you love yourself some chocolate, because all the major characters that we need to pay attention to in the Jane Rock series are all Black.
You know what the funny thing is? One of the things I noticed with Faith Hunter series is actually the Black ones are generally the nice ones.
Word. And the loyal ones. They're the ones that'll have her back.
I almost want to go and find Faith Hunter and then check out to see if she has booty. If Faith Hunter only knew that we were like one of three creators on YouTube who actually talks about Faith Hunter books. If she only knew.
Because like for real, like I do really like the Jane Rock series a lot, and I do love the ethnic diversity in those books as well.
Mm-hmm. Breath of fresh air, and it's in keep in mind that the Faith Hunter series and the Kate Daniels series are both in locations with ethnic diversity. Anyways, it's not like the Midwest where you don't see that. If you're in the Midwest, if you don't have a Native American in your book, what are you doing? It's the Midwest.
My favorite is when where the book takes place in Atlanta and there's no Black people. That's my absolute favorite. I get such a kick out of that.
I've seen that before, and it's like I've seen that before in a lot of different books that take place in the South. I've watched a book that took place in Detroit, and there's not a Black person in the book. Detroit, there's a Black person in the book. How's that happen?
Oh, another one. Andrews has racially diverse characters as well.
Nalini Singh, excellent racial. I know you think her books are scary, but highly racially diverse cast. It's in our. If you don't notice, I'm going to put it in the show notes. We have 5 books. We participated because we never participate. We're like the cool kids who smoke in the bathroom. No, you should smoke. Don't smoke, by the way. Don't smoke. But
vaping.
In the bathroom or something, and it's like we don't participate. It's like we don't participate. This is how much we don't participate. We have a third host on the show accidentally, which is your daughter, and And I was like, oh, you're gonna read Harry Potter, right? She's like, no. That's how much we don't participate.
It was great. It was great. You know what though? We've been reading Envisioned by Charlene Kenyon, the latest Chronicles of Nick book.
Which you were in a slump over last week's show. Yeah, because I keep dropping links into our link farm at the bottom. Check out the description.
So introduce the transgendered character.
Well, a transgender character that has transgender issue, or a transition character that is...
He was cursed. He broke some woman's heart who committed suicide, and he was cursed to spend the rest of eternity as a woman. He's actually a precursor banshee who looks like a gorgeous woman. And one of the best scenes in the book is, why do you keep calling her him? And it's like, oh, well, he used to be a man. Well, huh? And yeah, it goes from there. But you'll see.
That's an interesting thing. I wish it wasn't a curse, but at the same time, it ain't like there's not many transition character. I've been writing lately because I'm in a book slump, and that's what I do when I'm in a book slump. I get really moody and I start writing.
I game. I'm gaming again, so I'm reading again. So
yeah. And I actually have a character who spends most of the book in a really nice suit and heels, and he's a lawyer. And I was like, I really like that character, but you know how there's men who just like wearing heels?
Yeah, I know, men
and just
like wearing panties.
Yeah, and it happened to be gay, but sometimes there's straight dudes who like wearing heels.
I know the ones that like to wear panties. I know are straight, actually.
You know what though? You can buy men's underwear that's made up of the materials of panties now, and I don't do to buy that stuff too.
Yeah,
underwear wasn't
boy short underwear, and she loves them.
Some of those men underwear fabric stuff wasn't actually comfy.
Some of it, no.
It's only until recently that the underwear has
a lie. There is nothing sexy about silk boxers in any way, not on male or female, because when you get worked up and you get sweaty, that shit sticks to you, and not in a pleasant way.
And exactly a couple minutes in, cue the explicit rating. Having to get cue the rating, explicit rating back on. We almost made it.
It was actually almost clean too. Like
we almost made it. We were gonna make it this week. It was gonna be clean enough that Lily could actually listen, even though she listens anyways, because she's
like
there.
right behind me.
So she's there.
She's like on her computer drawing.
Yeah, occasionally chiming in. Okay, so let me get to the geeky news. So geeky news is kind of like geeky, bookish, TV, comic-y, sort of newsy news. And it's a little segment we like to do. And I'm eventually going to make music for it at some point, or possibly a graphic. It depends how geeky and newsy I feel. So,
I'll sing a song.
What was that?
I'll make a theme song.
Geeky news! Ah! There we go. Kylie and Kendall and Kylie Jenner are giving the book writing thing a go, according to HuffPost.
I didn't even know they could read.
I think Kendall is actually not like completely vapid. I think she's actually pretty smart. She seems to be angling for a you know how you remember Paris and her little sister who fell off the bike?
Nikki became a fashion designer.
Yeah, I think that's Kendall's ultimate goal, is to do the fashion design.
Like,
that's what I'm thinking.
She actually, went out and did her thing. I can't deal with Paris Hilton at all. Oh my goodness, that's a hot mess. All right, so let's go on with the news.
No. So the thing about it is, the sisters are set to release a sequel to their 2014 young adult dystopian sci-fi novel, which was Rebels of Intra, called Times of the Twins. I didn't even realize they wrote something.
Is it like another like Sweet Valley High?
No, it's a dystopian. Times of the Twins follows the story of Lex, a rebellious orphan, and her twin sister, Olivia, a pampered heiress, as they make a grueling journey in search of the mother they thought was dead, Chris. But their journey is just the beginning. They will have to face the ancient prophecy that calls for a long-awaited twin savior. I actually am impressed that it wasn't...
I wonder who their ghostwriter is.
You think this is completely ghost?
Yeah.
They came up with the idea and then gave a little plot line, and then the dude just wrote it up like it was nothing.
Yeah, I do.
Well, it couldn't have been a ghostwriter because judging by the poor sales of their first book, we can't...
Well, the thing is, though, is that I think if someone else's name was on it, it probably would have sold better.
But does the Kylie Jenner, maybe the Kylie Jenner audience isn't the type to enjoy books anyways?
They don't. No, I don't really think they're readers. No.
Because when I go on like Wattpad and other places like, like the fan places, I don't find tons and tons of Kylie Jenner, and Kendall Jenner fanfics. I don't see tons of it. Not like you would expect. I'm more likely to see,
There's Kendall Jenner fanfiction shit.
There's a lot of Amber Riley fanfiction. Like, a crapload. From Glee, if you didn't know.
Wow. Just wow.
Yes, I explained the joke, but there's tons of it, though. I'm actually really surprised. I'm proud of people. I'm like, right on, girls. Right on. Okay, I'm going to do the next one here. This is a terrible transition.
I don't know.
You remember... Oh, go ahead.
I said, I don't know. I mean, if you really think about the themes, it goes from the Kardashians to the Looking Glass. It's the same thing. Go ahead.
That's your transition was better. Okay, so Alice Through the Looking Glass seems to be like it's in the middle of an epic bomb. Now, I saw the first one and I was terrified. So why would they take a second?
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved the first one, and I was actually making plans to see the second when we're doing a special evening out after the Demon Spawn's graduation. Next week, so that was like going to be on the to-do list. I hope most likely, maybe.
So you're actually looking forward to this?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
I always tend to like movies that most people consider bombs, though. Like I am the indie film chick, and especially with my horror movies. Oh, love indie horror.
Oh wow. There's did you like Johnny Depp's performance? He's not really in this one as much, supposedly, but did you like Johnny Depp's performance?
Yes, actually. He is how I've always imagined the Mad Hatter. Like,
drunk?
Really. Yeah. Have you not read the books?
I read the books. I always thought he was more LSD than, 40 beers in.
No, I feel that the caterpillar was more LSD, and
I thought the caterpillar was more weed.
No, he was very more LSD.
How about just straight up opium?
I think they all did some opium in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, so Goodnight stories for rebel girls. Now,
I dig this. I dig this a lot.
I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna play. This is a real fucking fancy show. Isn't it? For us, it's really fancy this time. We're having a fancy moment. I'm gonna play you a clip from
Dubstep, y'all.
Once upon a time, there was a girl who dreamed to walk on Mars. From the creators of Timbuktu magazine comes 100 stories of courage and determination about women who changed the world. Introducing Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, 100 tales of extraordinary women. Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls is an illustrated children's book about the life and adventures of 100 heroic women from all over the world. Astronauts, chefs, tennis players, engineers, painters, architects, trombonists, judges, and many more.
As anyone can tell, we're having a little bit of a setup issue. So as soon as we get it fixed, we'll be back in.